You're welcome to Sports Dialogue on Ascent TV, and my name is Jide Olaniran. Today, I will be talking with the brain behind the Nigeria Farmers Football Awards. The award has been consistent for in the last 4 years, and today we would like to talk to the man behind this particular dream or project to ask him how has it been in the last 4 years. I have with me Mr. Shina Philips, the Chief Executive Officer of Matchmakers Consult International. Mr. Shina, it's nice to have you on the show.
My pleasure. Anytime, you've always, when you talk about the Nigerian Pitch Awards or anything we do, first thing comes to mind for me that you spotted us from day one when we came up with the FIFA, NFF FIFA Players Agent workshop. With people's involvement, and you spotted us and you saw what we had and you followed, and you have projected us, promoted us, and stood by us to this time. So for me, it's quite an honor to be on set with you to talk about whatever you need to know that we're doing.
All right.
It's for me an honor.
All right, it's always a pleasure to have you, Shina. Shina, let's talk about the Nigerian Pitch Awards. Like I said, it's the Foremost Football Awards in Nigeria, specifically for Nigerian football, the football industry in Nigeria. And it's been on for like 4 years. This particular, the 2017 edition, is the 4th edition.
Absolutely.
And you guys have been around. Can you tell us how you came about the Nigeria Pitch Awards?
Well, I'll be very sincere. It's no sentiment if I have to give all the glory to God. It's not. I'm not really necessarily emotional about that. The truth of it is, I'm a lover of football. I love football. I played. My younger one played professional football. But I'm also into showbiz. At some point, I felt, with what I see in other aspects of entertainment, I realized that there's a huge vacuum, with the reward system in our sports generally, and then in particular football. And so I wouldn't say it triggered interest in, veering into awards.
Okay.
I can say boldly anywhere in the world that the idea absolutely came from God.
All right.
Because there are times you sit down as a creative-minded person or as a businessman, and you begin to figure out what to do, to make this happen, to make money and all that. Then you can really, at some point, if you're having success, you can say that this is my brain work. But when out of mercy, God just looks at you and says, look, I want to give you this idea. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to give you the grace to go about it. Without being religious, I'll tell you the truth. This is what is happening with the Nigerian Pitch Awards. So I'm equally amazed, that we received such, the entire team, because it's not just about me.
All right.
The entire team has received such wonderful grace, as ideas come, as we try to reinvent it, the grace to do it right, to make sure that it doesn't, you get out of order, that you stick into the original plan, the way God wants it, transparent, credible, and laudable, and I'll tell you, for all the things God has brought together to make this award a quintessence of what the whole concept is. It's truly amazing.
All right. I remember when you first started, you had a Night of Stars. Maybe one would have thought maybe initially that was what was on your mind, just trying to bring the Nollywood guys with the sport guys. Maybe you wanted to create a kind of point of convergence for people on both worlds, and maybe you just felt, why don't we, and we've not, okay, maybe I should say that, and afterwards we've not seen this happen afterwards. What happened along the line?
The idea behind was, usually for a big show, you need a teaser, more like a dress rehearsal. I've been in showbiz. I'm a part of the inception of Nollywood, being involved in the early movies that came out. And I know that when you have a big show, you want a teaser, you want a dress rehearsal. And being that the Nollywood music industry is equally a terrain I understand very well, I felt the need for that bringing all together to say, look, I see the footballers as superstars.
Okay.
Our footballers, I see them as superstars, and I felt we need to bring stars to come and celebrate the superstars. That is not just going to be the public, and we let other celebrities come to be part of this idea. Because when our footballers go out there to do their thing and they bring glory, they do not just bring glory to themselves, they bring glory to the country, the whole nation. You see that. I mean, I've seen a pregnant woman running around the street where Nigeria won the Olympic Cup. You know, that's the kind of feeling you get when these boys go out there to do their thing. And so they are really big superstars. And more so, if you look at it, why I can refer to them as superstars, week in, week out, for those of them playing in England or any other league, they are applauded. You feel the human beings directly with you, they are applauding you. Do you know, it's huge. And so I felt the Nollywood that I'm equally a part of should be a part of this celebration. So we started with the Night of Stars, which was more like a dress rehearsal in preparation for the, as I was saying, the other parlance, the big masquerade, to usher in the big masquerade. And we didn't really run away from it. We are getting back to it properly. We're getting back to, also, we're bringing in an aspect of it, which is a seminar, which we look at, address the problems, the pitfalls and all that has in a way bedeviled our sporting world. And that's going to be part of the program, I'm sure, by God's grace, from the 5th edition. So we didn't do it away with the Night of Stars. We'll bring it on board. As we do that, we also bring a serious aspect before the awards ceremony, which is like a seminar to discuss problems and solutions to the problems that our football face, so that we can have a better future for our football.
All right. This is an award that is from your last answer has reinvent itself.
Yes.
Of course, looking at the way it started, and we've seen a lot of awards come and go. Most of them gone into oblivion. But the Picture Awards is in its fourth edition, and what's the story behind the constants?
The secret first, God, absolute, any day, anywhere. Glory to Jesus. Then following is the system designed, to pursue not just excellence, but to be transparent. And with due respect to every other award, because we are not in competition. That when we set out, we didn't set out to want to prove anything to say we are going to be number one because we want to compete. No, we set out to do the right thing. I have a clear understanding of the science behind, this reward system. And so we designed it with the aim to, pursue integrity and credibility and transparency. And then, rather than just settle for 7 or 20-man panel, which I don't have a problem with. But again, we realize that, look, there are people who are specialists in this area. There are people who are experts in this area. They sleep, they wake, they drink, eat this particular game. Why don't we bring them in to be the deciders? Why don't we have a college, this college of voters who will decide what the true thing is and come out, and then we declare to the people. And nevertheless, we didn't want to even leave it in the Nigerian Football Federation, or even for us as organizers. We decided that an independent verifying body would be responsible for the entire voting process of the awards, which invariably means that Nigerian Football Federation that fully endorsed it will not have access to the voting process. Matchmakers Consult will not have access. It will be the responsibility of the auditing accounting firm. And so we started with BDO. As of then, I don't know now, they were the 5th largest auditing firm in the world. And we had their involvement. And it was solely independent. Result, magnificent. And then we went further, to individualize it. And we said, let's have a Nigerian company to carry it out. We trust them. And SIO came in, and with the support of one of its partners, Pastor Itwa Igodalo, I mean, it has been tremendous. You know, if we're paying them to do their job, we could perhaps say, okay, we can influence them. But if they are saying, this is our contribution, this is a patriotic move on our part, and this is what we can give to ensure transparency, I mean, kudos.
You talk about transparency, you talk about objectivity. Would you say, of course, most times you have this panel of experts who do the nomination for this particular award. Could you also say they are 100% total objective about their goal, about what they do?
In as much as there is nothing really perfect, but when you have about 120 voters across the country, mainly made up of editors, correspondents, and sport writers, seasoned, and for some of them have, you know, have built this name over the years. They equally want to be careful, because one other thing, you know, when you talk about transparency, we come out to display the names of all the voters. In the long run, we come out to display the results. So it's not enough that we are announcing the nominees and then eventually the winners. In order to ensure that this is transparency from square one to the end, we display all the names and say, this is how they voted. Wow. And so anyone nominated can go there and see. And the beauty of, for instance, in the category of that, the media category, it's clearly stated in the criteria that you can vote and be voted for.
That's it.
So, for instance, if you get sentimental as a journalist in electronics or print and you want to vote for yourself, well, there are about other 119 who equally will have their say.
That's it.
So in the long run, when this list comes out, we are sure that yes, the right person has been picked or the right people have been nominated. And I can say boldly, one analyst said one of the toughest awards to win in Nigeria is the Nigerian Picture Award. And the reason is because of the mechanism we put in place at ensuring transparency, credibility, and integrity. These voters across the country, you are not likely to influence 120. And so when they vote, they have their reputation at stake. And then the auditing firm is solely responsible for that. What we get from the auditing firm is the nominee, the lists, and then they come with the result at the venue. And so how best can we be transparent? Nevertheless, we always want to improve on it. We started with manual, by sending hard copies through courier to all the voters. Quite expensive exercise to do, they feel. We also ensure that a voter can have a photocopy of what he voted, so that if there's any reason to argue, you can come out and say, but this is what I voted. How come my point is not heard? And that we did with the auditing firm, with their courier company. They retrieve all this, they collate, they release results. Now we decide that, okay, let's digitalize it. Okay. And then we now have the online voting solely strictly for the 120 voters. And this system, the portal actually was designed in the US. And so nobody can say there's a local base or a Nigerian based person who can basically go out and influence anybody. Okay. So we really recommend that. All
right. Are there plans to enlarge or to increase the panel in the course of trying to still reinvent the idea? Because why I'm saying this is that we've seen awards like FIFA's Best Awards, and we've seen coaches also part of voters. Yeah. We've seen other technical people on that panel. Are you saying that are we likely to have other technical people aside journalists to also be part of the voting college?
The good thing about this project is that we are really open to suggestions, sound reasoning, objectivity, and all that put together. And so as we continue to reinvent it to bring us to a zone where, as you say in flying, autopilot, we'll be able to have something that is widely acceptable. As you also know, we have received letters, we have received calls to make this public, make it online for the voters. I mean, it's enticing in that you have the public voting, the fans voting, you can make some money. We've, by the grace of God, restrained ourselves. We fought hard not to be swayed in that direction. We just felt it's safe to leave it with the experts. Right. And so far, arguably so, there've never been any controversy with nominees, let alone winners.
All right.
And so, there could be room for expansion to bring in more
other
experts.
stakeholders and
more,
some
yeah,
sort of-
but because those experts equally determine some of the stakeholders in the business.
Okay.
And so all that is possible. Nevertheless, the stricter the better, so that we can have quality rather than pursue quantity.
All right. Of course, you said one of the hallmark, some of the things that stands this particular project out from the rest is the fact that there's so much talk about the fact that the process is transparent, nobody influences the process. Are there no pressures from outside the process to make sure that the process stands?
I'll be very sincere with you. Be very sincere from inception, because when you set out, when you set out on a major project and you want to be sincere and you go out in sincerity, you have to come out bare and be seen as open and readable. We decided before the project commenced, before the ceremony, we came up with a newsletter, and it's still there, the proof. We came up with this newsletter stating that this is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it, and this is what the standard we want to maintain. These are the criteria, these are how we will arrive at it. So we made it clear, we sent it around. And so, somehow for those in the industry, they have seen it. And it will be a bit of a shame if, for instance, one calls and say, can I influence this? Or can I have this person, win this? Because, it's bad. And so what we engender through the process we put in place, especially through the newsletters and, of course, our interviews, is to prepare the people for competitive, healthy competition. To prepare them for healthy competition. And so everyone have this mindset that I have to compete to win this. Okay. And that's why for even the nominees, they are glad. I heard someone said that being nominated and I have that certificate is good enough.
Wow. Yeah. Of course, you could say that of maybe the players,
and
maybe
so
the
in a
professional.
nutshell, we've not really had that.
All right. You could say that of the players, maybe the professionals in the area of the media awards, talking about professionals in the media, journalists and that.
Yeah.
There is a particular category where you have the state governors, the category as well as the place.
State with the best grassroots.
Exactly.
And then the friendly governor of the year.
And you and I know that those states are always in a battle to outwit themselves. Don't you have?
Amazingly, that's exactly what anyone would have felt. And look at me, I'm not riding a car. I mean, last year, El-Rufai, the governor of His Excellency, Malam El-Rufai, won one of the categories, and I never got to meeting with him thereafter. Never had a chat with him, aside his appreciation, which he believed, and that was it. And so I left Kaduna indebted.
Wow.
Yes, I left Kaduna indebted, and same with Cross River State. They were voted for, and the result came out. So what right would I have to go to them and say? So at every point, and I thank God for what the president of the Nigerian Football Association Federation said when at the award. He said, "This is one award that is spot on. That it may not have all the glamour, but one thing you can be sure of is credible."
Okay.
And they know. Even the Nigerian Football Federation can attest to the fact that they know that I will not make any attempt to want to sway or persuade any governor to bring in money so as to win an award. As it were, right now, it's even risky because we are going to Akwa Ibom State, and the governor has been nominated in his own category, and we don't know whether he's going to win right in his domain. And so if another governor, because there are three competing for that category, if another governor wins, what will it be like for us as organizers? We will gladly appreciate the win. That's the standard we've set.
Then there comes the question: how have you been able to weather this storm in the last 4 years? With sponsorship-wise, how have you been able to weather this storm?
Really, I mean, without unnecessarily being spiritual, God assured that it will be funded and sponsors will come. But of course, for every good thing, it starts very tough. I wouldn't say rough. And it's been one's own efforts. The team, I really had to borrow, because I believe in the project. And I will say this, very clearly. If you cannot suffer any form of embarrassment for your dream, then you never had a dream. And so for me, yes, I've had a series of embarrassment here and there, but it's worth it. We'll have to borrow. We believe in the project. The way that the media, the voters, the experts believe in this project, and I say very boldly that, and emphatically so, for the voters, if the voters can come out and stay professional, stay credible and patriotic, why? For one who has the dream and one who is piloting the dream, if you can sow, your tears and your strength and your energy and your money into a dream that God gives to you, who else will come and do it for you? We are not saying that sponsors won't come, but then they need to see that you believe in it. I believe in this project. God gave the project, and the media believes in it, and Nigerians do believe in it. And we have seen one substance, the strength, again, the foundation of the project: credibility, transparency, integrity.
Of course, one other thing again is that, like I said, this is one award that's been reinventing itself,
Yes.
right from the initial
Yes.
stage, and right now, when you look at even the awards, you started with statuettes. Yeah. I noticed that there is a change in the
Yes, okay.
feature right now.
Yeah.
What informed this? If you complain there is no money and you still put in a lot,
that stuff is produced in Spain, and it's electro gold plated. We don't have the big money here, but we ensure that, okay, if we're the symbol of any award matters a lot, be it a plaque, be it a trophy, or be it a statuette. And so the concept of the statuette itself is so very unique. And then we decided, not that we don't have good producers here in Nigeria, we decided to go outside, and it's a beautiful thing they've given to us. It's part of the investment. But beyond investment is that this is the face. Any award that is truly worth being called an award must have its own symbol. And the symbol of the Nigerian Pitch Awards is that statuette that is electro gold plated. And the beauty of it, like when Nikel, one of our winners, when he heard that particular stuff, he said, I never knew that we can have a statuette like this in Nigeria. He was amazed. Even the two governors that have won, they hold it as like, wow, and it's heavy and it's truly unique. And so if you can invest in the statuette that is the symbol of your award, what's the essence of the award? So we prize ourselves, in investing much in it. It's actually produced in Spain. It comes into the country a week to the award, and believe you me, the king of the pitch is the only one who is entitled to 2 of it, and it's the same award for every other category. So that anywhere you see this, you can tell that this is the Nigerian Pitch Award. It's not different shape of either plaque, statuette, or it's just one symbol. I think I have it. I'll come and display it for you to see.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's another question again that comes to mind is that organizing the D-Day. We've seen awards where some of the awardees won't show up, and part of the glamour is when you have them around. Even in the dressing of some of these players, and these are some of the things that really matter. What are you doing to make sure that at least gradually it becomes so glamorous that we can keep talking about it, aside what you guys are putting in place right now?
I agree with you. It's all part of what makes an award ceremony. First the award, then its ceremony. I sincerely understand the position of our players. Over time, over the years, they've not really had something that can bring them together and say, okay, you'll be truly rewarded or truly appreciated without somebody coming to tap on your door or call you to say, guy, you have to give me some money and I'll give you an award. I'm sure it's the same, the same thing that the corporate bodies have had with sponsoring awards and a sports award, because they've had that strong apathy, because they think every award in this country, or for some awards, because I know there are a lot of genuine awards platform. They think it's all about money. Somebody wants to get money. No, here is true reward. And so you need to be able to bring the players to understand what you're doing. You need to be able to get them to understand the vision. At some point, you know, like a child, you know, they will grow and they will grow to understanding it, and we'll begin to see them come out in their true ceremonial form. And you get what I'm saying? I can't blame them if they are not doing that now, because over time they've not really seen anything in this form. And so we need to make them believe in it, that the process first is transparent. What they want to see is that it's transparent. Once, I'm sure from the 5th edition, you know, they will know from afar that I have to be prepared for this, and they will come looking glamorous. However, on our own part as organizers, we'll try to keep, you know, have the right sets, we'll try to have the right lighting, we'll try to have the right atmosphere, you know, that makes for a true glamorous award. We didn't pursue that in the first place, but we can say boldly that this is all that you need to make for a true glamorous award, because the world loves glamour.
Yes,
and by God's grace, though we've been, you know, like, okay, looking for the money, by God's grace, I am a showbiz person. I know the show to bring in. We may not have the money now, but once the money comes in from the stage set and light and all that, it will be unbelievable. And it's possible in Akwa Ibom.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay, I believe. All right, of course, one other angle also is the angle of sponsorship again, which brings us back to the private sector. This is an award that's consistently, it has held for 3 years. This is the 4th year. What's the problem with, do you think is the problem with the corporate sector believing in this particular project? Because of even the fact that there is so much integrity in place, there's a transparent process. Exactly.
I would say very clearly, I was in my home in Italy, you know, and somebody called me and I was just talking about the Nigerian Pitch Awards, and the person said, okay, Google it, and I Googled, and the next thing I saw it was on Wikipedia. We didn't solicit for it, but we are quoted on Wikipedia. For me, from a long distance, you know, such reputable body would quote the Nigerian Pitch Awards at its 2nd edition. That's indicative of something. That's a sign that people are watching. Let's not be deceived. The corporate bodies are watching. But I also tell you, without really seeing it as a reason behind not having the kind of sponsors we need now, is that our football is gradually picking up.
All right.
Over the years, in the last 5 years, we have suffered a bit of, you know, unpleasant situation with our footballers. And you know, with brands, they want to identify with success. And I tell you the truth, and from this I know that once our Super Eagles begin to do well, our under 17, under 20, we will be sought after. Like, do you know one of the sponsors asked, who are we celebrating? They are not winning. But now I'm sure the Super Eagles will have their winning streak. We have a coach that is reputable. We have the Nigerian Football Federation that is prepared to do the right thing. Once that winning streak comes, it will also fly with their award.
Wow.
Yes. So the sponsors, not that they have total apathy towards it, but they need to see that that industry is vibrant.
All right.
You know why it's working in the music industry? Because the guys are playing good music.
Okay.
And so they want their brand to identify with any of the singers or the musicians. Why is working in Hollywood? Because the guys are projecting Nigeria through their stuff in the right way. So they take their brand to identify with it. Now, the Nigerian Pitch Award is doing well. They are observing it, they are watching. They are equally, as we are praying, that the Super Eagles will pick up, because once they are doing well, these corporate bodies will begin to look for the players. And so they can probably say, Nigerian Pitch Award winner 2000 and this and 2000 and that. So it's there. I don't really fault them. I can't blame them for it. There's never been consistency with our sports award, as you very well know. But by God's grace, we're doing that. And I can tell you, the signs are there that they will come into the sponsor one of this program.
All right. Before I let you go right now, lessons, you know, you are an entrepreneur. With this kind of project, somebody who's invested so much, your time, your money, everything. What are the lessons you have taken away from this so far? You know, because one will need to learn from you. You know,
yeah, huge lessons. things that ordinarily you thought. As a matter of fact, in all the things I've learned, they bring me to one place. Be laser focused in your pursuit. Whatever your pursuit is in life, be laser focused. Do not get distracted. And so, what are the lessons? Moments where you are hit so badly, especially when you know you have a whole lot to give, but you are limited, you are restricted, you do not have the means to achieve it. And somehow in the eyes of friends, foes and all, you look like incompetent. And those are the moments you feel like quitting. There are more times I feel like get out of this country. Times when you're indebted and you see the creditor come tapping on your door and insult you because of your project. But because my staying strength is Jesus, I stay laser focused. The Bible tells me that I should look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of my faith. Drawing from that, I stay laser focused on what I want to do. And from this, we've already started building African Lamps Award.
Wow.
So very well know I'm also involved with Security Watch Africa.
Okay.
And all of this put together, laser focused.
Wow. All right. Shina, this is the awards. Yeah. Like I said,
yes,
it is beauty to behold, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who designed it? Let's quickly. Who designed? How did you come about this?
Okay, I'll be very truthful. As I told you, all the ideas came from God. So He gave me the concept.
Okay.
So what I did when he gave me this concept, I sought the guys in Nigeria to give me the graphic design.
Okay.
They came. It wasn't what I wanted. I was in Akure then, and then when I got the concept, I went to South Africa to do it. Now, the company in South Africa told me that for each one, I'll be paying $3,000.
Wow.
It was frightening, and we're looking at 20 or more of them.
Okay.
And so I took the concept. So I have the copyrights because God gave me the idea of this particular statuette design. And so, fortunately, I stumbled on a company in Spain. They loved it. They ensure that it has all the details. Okay. And here we are. Wow. So I can give God the glory.
Wow. That is the ultimate as far as.
You know how beautiful it is when a winner holds it and says.
Yeah, I believe because I'm already converting one right now. I'm converting. Yeah. Yeah. So that is it. The statuette for the Nigeria Pitch Awards. Of course, somebody will be going. A whole lot of guys will be going on with this on the 10th of June, the night. That's going to be a massive night for Nigerian football once again, and we'll be looking at a whole lot of people going on with this. Like I said, I covered this someday, somehow. It will be. Yeah. All right, Shina. Yes. It's always a pleasure talking to you, really.
And I really must say, as I want to thank all our voters across the country. I'll say very clearly here, we do not even go to give them one T-shirt as appreciation for the vote they cast. You are one of our voters. We openly say it, and we have all the media houses across the country, and not one voter has received a dime from us. That's true patriotism. I can say and outrightly say where people have said that media is all about brand envelope. I'm a trained journalist, aside every other thing. And I can say boldly that our practice of journalism in Nigeria is not about brand envelope. This is serious work, and it has been proven through the Nigerian Pitch Awards. I thank all the editors. I thank all the voters, including the reporters. You guys are doing a great job. And I also thank you for your platform. This is way out of the world, and it can only get better.
Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure talking to you once again. We hope to do this again. Maybe after the awards, that we can be more relaxed, and we can begin to count the successes. Thank you very much. All right, that's how far we can go on today's show. It's been a lovely time with Shina Philips, the Chief Executive Officer of Matchmakers Consult. That is the organizer of the Nigerian Pitch Awards. All right, my name is Jide Olaniran. Thanks for joining me on Sports Dialogue. Another edition will hit you very soon. Just stay tuned for more information. Wow.